And they thought that you might enjoy hearing it, so I'm going to attempt to tell it. And then you might want to share it with your grandchildren or your great-grandchildren. Once there was a little boy, and he woke up and he said those familiar words, "Mom, I'm bored." His mom came running. She always had wonderful things and ideas for him. So she said, "Would you like to go and find the little red house without a door and a star inside?" And he said, but Mom, where would I go to find such a house? And she told him to go down the hill and up the road, and he would be able to find a little red house without a door and a star inside. It was a cool fall morning, and the little boy got himself dressed, zipped up his jacket, put his hat on, and he started down the lane as his mother had instructed him. And on the lane there was a little girl, and that little girl was playing hide and go seek. Last night, the night before, 24 blackbirds at my door. And the little boy said, "Excuse me, please, but could you tell me where I could find the little red house without a door and a star inside?" The little girl laughed at him. "I ain't never heard of no house like that. Who told you that?" "My mom told me that there is a little red house without a door and a star inside." He looked so very sad. But the little girl told him, "I'll tell you what you do. If you look way across the field, you'll see a man over there. And ask my father, maybe he could help you." So the little boy started across the field, and he went around the orange pumpkins and through the tall grass. And he got over to that farm, and he said, "Mr. Farmer, could you tell me where I could find the little red house without a door and a star inside?" And the man said, "Did you say it had a star inside? I ain't never heard of no house like that. But I tell you what you do. Why don't you ask Granny?" Now, Granny has lived a long time, and she knows lots of things, and maybe she could help you out. He started down the road walking, and big tears welled up in his eyes. He began to wonder if there was such a thing as a little red house without a door and a star inside. And he walked, and finally he saw a big house. And that big house had 2 rocking chairs on the porch. And in one of those chairs sat Granny. And he walked up there and he said, "Are you Granny?" He said, "Yes, I." She said, "Yes, I am, young whippersnapper. How can I help you?" And he said, "I'm looking for the little red house without a door and a star inside." And Granny laughed so hard that the little mitten that she was knitting rolled down the pebbly path. She said, "Boy, I ain't never heard of no house like that. But I'll tell you what you do. Maybe if you ask the wind could help you." And the wind was going, and he went outside, and he was so very sad. And the wind took him up, higher and higher, and he found himself standing in an apple orchard. And down before him fell one of the most beautiful apples, painted as red as the sun could paint it. He picked it up and he said, "Could this be the little red house without a door and a star inside?" And he said, "This is it." And he ran back by Granny. He said, "Granny, I found the little red house without a door and a star inside." He went on back by the farm and he said, "Mr. Farmer, I found it. And back by the little girl who go seek. And on to his own mom's house. He knocked on the door and she let him in. He said, Mom, I found a little red house without a door and a star inside. And his mother took a knife out and she cut it in a very special way.